In this video, we've got 6 very different and very individual mods that you have most likely never heard of.
I choose this as our goal.
Creatures of none.
Men are kings. If he breeds, he is sin.
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Your son's in a room, all right? Won't hurt.
I'd like to give a huge thanks to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. Surfshark VPN keeps your online identity safe by encrypting all of the information sent between your device and the internet. It swaps the real location of your device with a new one, meaning that you can virtually travel to any country across the globe. By changing your virtual location, you can get early access to games by switching time zones, unblock websites by bypassing geo restrictions, and even access and unblock streaming services from other countries, like all of the Netflix libraries. Surfshark encrypts your online data, which helps to secure your personal information when you use free public Wi-Fi, which hackers usually target. It also has a clean web feature which blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. Be sure to use code HEAVYBURNS at checkout to get 83% off, plus an extra 3 months for free. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out. Click the link in the description to get your Surfshark VPN now. Again, massive thanks to Surfshark for helping support the channel, but without further ado, let's jump into the video. The first mod we'll be taking a look at is Ashlander. This mod at the time of recording currently only has a minimal 380 downloads, which is very surprising as it offers a short side quest and a rather remarkable bow. To start this quest, you must head to the capital city of Skyrim, Solitude, and head to the local inn, the Winking Skeever. Whilst you enjoy your refreshments and the atmosphere within the local inn, you may stumble across a strange note sitting strangely upon a table. It reads, "Hello traveller, Sirius Simon here. Come find me in Solstheim at Raven Rock. I'm offering a one-of-a-kind bow to anyone that can find my lost wedding ring." As we know from Vanilla, in order to travel to Solstheim, you must board the ship at the Windhelm docks and persuade the captain to sail you across the perilous Sea of Ghosts. As you arrive at the Raven Rock docks and thank the captain for your journey, a house stands opposite the exit to the pier. This is the home of the owner, of whom the mysterious note belongs to. As you knock the door, no one seems to respond, so you enter. A dark elf whose name is Sirius Simon explains how a rogue group of bandits murdered his wife, stole her wedding ring, and are now holding up in Ashwind Cave. In order for him to give you the bow, you must retrieve the lost ring and return it to him. A small cave lies on an abandoned beach to the east of Solstheim. This is what we know as Ashwind Cave. As you enter the icy cavern, a bandit chief who has claimed the ring will fight you to the death. You must kill him and retrieve the ring for Simon. When you return to Simon's home, he will trade you the ring for a one-of-a-kind Ashlander bow. The bow almost reminds me of the ash-spawn creatures that dwell around the barren lands of Solstheim. The limbs of this rare weapon almost look like volcanic fissures containing flowing lava within, whilst the grip consists of a strong metal and rope for steady aim. This bow has a very interesting design and a lot of thought has clearly gone into it. Why not add this small but interesting mod to your list and retrieve the Ashlander bow for yourself? Also, before we move on to the next mod, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to help support us in what we do. Anyway, moving on. Next up on this list of hidden gems is Weldingmands Enchanting Table Variants. This mod does exactly what it says in the title, giving you different variations of enchanting tables throughout your game. You will have the option of 2 file types for this mod. The first is the main standalone file, which changes all your enchantment tables from the basic design to something a little more intricate. A hexagonal table shape with a solid black plaque etched with some sort of runic dark language. Atop each enchantment table are the images of different types of magic known throughout Skyrim. Finally, the centerpiece of this table is a large horned skull with its mouth wide open, and within a mesmerizing glowing orb is sat. The second file for this mod is the Enchanting Table Variants, which currently adds an additional 4 different styles of crafting table to specific locations throughout your game, which are accurate to the type of NPC that might dwell there. These styles consist of Vampire, Necromancer, Dwemer, and Alchemy. The Vampire enchantment table is a vulgar blood-filled slab with deep red magical markings, very fitting for a vampire lair or home in my opinion. It appears as if they used some sort of blood magic to enchant items from the pools of blood atop the table. The main element of this table though are what look to be the bones of a human, consisting of a rib cage and a blood-covered skull with one eyeball remaining. Next is a necromancer table. This table gives off the vibe of dark magic from the skulls and alchemy ingredients which are on show. Again, a very accurate representation of what the enchantment table of a necromancer should look like. This time the etched magical symbols are a bright purple, illuminating the darkest of rooms. The highlight of this table is the entire hunched over cremated corpse, which is holding a mysterious purple glowing orb of some kind. The Dwemer enchantment table looks like it's been around for thousands of years, with its delicately patterned top and mechanically moving candles. This time the markings are bright golden orange, similar to the glistening reflective pipeworks you find throughout the Dwemer ruin. Its centerpiece is a miniature version of the giant mechanical sun that is in Blackreach. The last of the 4 types of enchantment table is the alchemy table. This is probably the most basic of the 4 and doesn't have as much detail. It's made of solid wood with illuminating lime green magical markings. The focal point of this table is what appears to be some sort of moose skull with antlers protruding from its head. Maybe it's a Forsworn style table of some kind. All in all, I think this mod is very intelligently designed and adds a huge amount of style to individual areas inhabited by specific types of NPCs. Up next is a hidden gem which I found to be very well made and super interesting. The Grytewake Legend is a kind of all-in-one mod adding a new portable player home, a new quest and an entirely new Nordic ruin full of lots of surprises along the way. To start this quest, you must head once again to the Winking Skeever in Solitude. Whilst here, you might discover a strange journal upon a table. After reading this journal, a quest will be started and you'll begin your adventure. Your quest leads you to the newly added Nordic ruins of Jövolsund, northwest of Solitude. As you battle through the venomous spider-infested ruins, there will be many puzzles to solve and many enemies lurking, waiting to strike. Draugr, restlessly waiting for their next victim, sleep within their burial chambers and tombs. Traps lay hidden everywhere, so be wary. As you delve deep enough into this dungeon, you will discover the owner of the journal you found laying stone dead. His name was Eramil. He was also searching for the Grytewake Legend, and sealed his fate in doing so. Upon him, you will find a note guiding you through the next steps of your quest, and also a key to what he suspected is the burial chamber of Snorri Frostfeather, the captain of the Grytewake. Once you reach the burial chamber of Snorri Frostfeather, he will awaken, and you will have to face and destroy him in order to obtain the Grytewake Soul Gem, which is the key to owning the ship. Once you exit the ruin of Jövolsund, the Grytewake ship will be docked outside, ready for you to secure with its moss-covered hull and tall mast swaying in the wind. In order to claim the ship, you must place the Grytewake Soul Gem into the center of the helm, and in doing so, a magical blast of energy is released and the door to the interior of the ship is unlocked. Within the ship is everything you could possibly need within a player home. It gives you a small garden for you to grow and harvest ingredients, a smelter and wood chopping block, a blacksmith room to craft weapons and armors, a dining room for you to eat, drink and have a good time, a storeroom for ingredients and a cooking station, an enchantment room with soul gem storage, your very own chicken farm, which if you don't kill them you'll find daily eggs in the hay, lots and lots of storage areas including chests, 50 plus weapon racks, storage for over 500 books, displays for dragon priest masks and dragon claws, mannequins to display special armors you've collected, and a shrine to Zenithar, because why not? A bedroom, and finally, but most importantly, a magical map, which will teleport your ship player home to 4 different locations across Skyrim. These locations are Winterhold, Dawnstar, Windhelm, and Solitude. The last and final detail that this mod adds is that when you own the ship, the spirit of Snorri Frostfeather still walks upon the decks of the Grytewake, and you can even employ him as a follower to help you with your future adventures. I highly recommend this mod as I found it very fun to play through, and it really is a hidden gem. For anyone who regularly watches our channel, I'm sure you'll know the next mod author relatively well by now. Yes, you've guessed it, it's Ryns, with his Dragon Mounds collection. Ryns has thankfully transformed these boring, very minor and uninteresting locations to something more special. The Dragon Mounds located all across your game are now the unique, mighty, monumental exhibits that should have been in vanilla game. Ryns has converted every single Dragon Mound in the game. Yes, you heard right, all 22 of them. Each mound is now unique in its own individual way, from grand Nordic pillars to spider-infested towers. each offering a different experience to each location you visit. Some of these areas have also been gifted NPCs to liven up the encounters you'll face while exploring these mounds. The changes Ryns has made really are a drastic improvement, and yet again I personally think he's got it bang on for how these areas should appear. The Dragonmounds were quite literally just a mound of dirt, and were relatively hard to find as they're unmarked on your map. Whereas now you can spot most of them far off in the distance because they have been transformed into the very important landmarks they deserve to be. Now for a location mod that goes by the name of Amol Village. This mod adds an entirely new village into your Skyrim game, and it's situated southwest of Windhelm and north of Ivarstead. The Amol Village is built upon a bridge-like structure atop a fast-flowing, deep blue river, making it the perfect location for fishing. I mean, the huts are quite literally overhanging the river, so you could probably even fish out of your window if necessary. They have no load door on these huts, so you can quite literally see and walk straight in, which is a nice touch. A variety of new NPCs live within this village, and each have different roles to play. The Amol Village is protected and guarded by the Amol Militia, who live within the barracks. They are suited up in the very distinguishable scaled horn armour, with horns protruding from their helmets. Quite often, they spend the majority of their time at the Dancing Madman's Inn, located on the edge of town. It's a relatively small inn with no bar, more of a cozy gathering area for the Amol Militia to have a few drinks, some food, or maybe even stay the night. Sathair Solutions, who is situated at the opposite end of the village to the Dancing Madman's Inn. Indeed, it's rather small inside, but it's sure to provide you with ingredients, potions, or poisons that you may require. It also has an alchemy station for you to craft your own potions and poisons from all the ingredients you have acquired. All in all, a very nice minor settlement added to the wide world of your Skyrim game. And for our final hidden gem, we'll be taking a look at Depths of the Reach. Just a heads up before you think about starting this questline, you are required to be a minimum level of 30, and you need to fully prepare yourself and stock up, as there's going to be many surprises along the way. To start the main story of Depths of the Reach, you must venture to Deepfault Crossing, and investigate the aftermath of a recent skirmish. This will begin the quest and add several spots of lingering void energy around the reach. Sometimes they can be difficult to spot depending on the specific weathers. However, if you are close to one, you will hear an eerie spirit whispering lingering around the area. Once close enough, shades and other void apparitions will materialize and attack you on sight. Chests or treasures can be found near these void energy spots, and among these are 4 unique containers containing Dwemer tonal glyphs. These glyphs give passive stats to the wearer, and they do not take up any equipment slots, which is kinda cool. Depths of the Reach also adds a total of 10 completely new unique spells that can be obtained by using a smelter to extract magical properties from items you collect from various different void apparitions you encounter throughout your adventure in the Reach. As well as these spells, you can also brew a powerful potion at any cooking station using the same items you found on the bodies of these apparitions. As you venture through this quest, you will eventually have to explore the ancient Dwemer ruins of Arkingthums, which leads underground to a giant cavern filled with bridges, giant glowing mushrooms, and many enemies. One of which is a mini-boss, the Falling Star Knight, who defends the bridge leading to the main boss battle. He wields a giant magical greatsword capable of decapitating any foe, and he can teleport throughout your battle. Once the Falling Star Knight is defeated, the magical barrier is lowered and allows you to enter the boss battle. Through the lowered barrier awaits the final boss. Her name is Malchus. This boss battle contains different phases, which get progressively harder, and with the help of her fellow apparitions, this is no easy fight to say the least. Once defeated, you'll be able to obtain the pieces of the Void and her journal. And honestly, this is just a really cool mod. It's made by Kittytail, who's made some of the best mods on the Nexus, so I would highly recommend checking it out. And that's it for this Hidden Gems video. Please feel free to leave comments on what you enjoyed, and just generally if you enjoyed this type of video. Again, thank you to Surfshark for supporting the channel. Click the link in the description to get your Surfshark VPN now. Finally, thanks for all of you for watching. Make sure to support the channel by liking and subscribing if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.